Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. Right before the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament started last night, I unboxed A Touch of Evil as a delivery unboxing from a gentleman off of BGG. A Touch of Evil comes from Flying Frog Productions. I'm going to do this unboxing a little bit different. You guys know that the first thing I normally do if you watch these on the regular is I usually flip it over and read the blurb on the back. But given the way the box is bulging a little bit, you might be able to see it. Let me turn on my big light. I'll see if I can zoom in just a touch on that. But you might be able to see that the box is bulging a little bit. I glanced in the box a little bit last night as I was cracking it open because I had to turn the box. The box was actually packed. It was actually this box is actually a very tight fit on the box it came in. So I had to turn it over to get it out, which let me sneak a peek in the box. So it's very much a bulging mess in there. So I'm going to get that dealt with first, and then we'll take a look at the blurb on the back. So let's crack this open and see what we've got. We've got the rule book, which I'll put that to the side. We'll go through that at the end. This is probably our game board, but I want to get this disaster dealt with first before we crack that open. So this is probably our darkness track. Looks like that's for a cooperative game, and I'm not sure what that's for. Everything looks to be very glossy at first glance, though. We've got the Scarecrow minion chart. The other side of that for the advanced game. Then we've got the Spectral Horseman minion chart for the basic game. And the advanced game again. Vampire minion. And the advanced game. And the werewolf. Basic. And advanced. And, yeah. We've got the Scarecrow, the werewolf, and the vampire as some of our adversaries. Based on what I've got in here, I should also see the Spectral Horseman, which I do. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to move these dice over to the side. I'll probably use them for the time being, at least the first play. But if I like the game, I am going to swap those dice out. Then we're going to start organizing these cards. Thankfully, it looks like they've got all different backs on them, so organizing them should be fairly easy. We've got the windmill. Not sure I like the feel completely of these cards, so I might be sleeving those. Actually, I'm going to use the inside of the box for the time being. I'll probably need to expand beyond that before too long. We've got town items, lair, so it's a rare Thursday morning, more lair cards. It's a rare Thursday morning unboxing and organizing with Phoenix Knight. So we've got reference cards, which I don't mind that in the slightest. We'll put those out of the way. Then we're starting to get into mystery cards. More town items. More town items. Windmill, presumably one of the locations. Looks like we've got a new location. We've got the Old Woods. More Old Woods. Okay, I think we're going to have to swap dice immediately because I've never seen a die with one of the pips missing. I'm going to pull the dice. I'm going to start pulling the dice out as I see them. But I'm going to have to swap those right away. We've got more mystery cards. I also have a whole mess of bags on standby so I can figure out what I actually want to do with these. Then all of our events. Now, I suspect something happened in transit with this. I suspect something happened in transit to end up with the box, to end up with everything kind of coming out in this much of a jumbled mess. Then we've got our mystery. More location cards for the old woods. Then we start getting into the manor. Abandoned keep. More of those. Now, I normally don't, as you guys also know, I don't normally crack cards until I'm ready for them. And good morning, Dave, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And you and yours. We're just going through an unboxing. There's actually going to be a few of these unboxings hitting the channel. I've been meaning to get caught up on some of these. Today is just the perfect opportunity to do that. We've got our mystery cards. We've got more mystery cards, I should say. Hopefully these are a different back. Looks like some of our characters, which we can get those. Put those with the hero turn, I think, with the reference cards. We've got secrets. Okay. Another die. Again, in a size I don't like. I've not liked this size of dice with the play games before, or with the play games in the past. I'll probably use them at least for the first playthrough before I decide if I like the game or not. If I like the game, at that point I'll swap them out. Then we've got more abandoned keep. More secrets. Looks like more... We'll see what these are. These look like more reference cards. Werewolf cards for Curse of the Werewolf. Okay. We'll put those up here for the time being just to get them out of the way. Then we're starting to get into minis. Looks like we've got the Spectral Horseman. If you want to do random villains, Anne-Marie the School Teacher. Actually, these might be heroes. Well, some of these might be heroes. That's a hero. That's a villain, so I'll sort those differently. Then we've got Henry Cartwright the Drifter. Looks like he'll be a hero, most likely. Yep. Victor Danforth the Playwright. Hero. Thomas the Courier. Isabel von Took, Noblewoman. Inspector Cook. The stats will probably make more sense when we actually get into the game. Carl the Soldier. And Katarina the Outlaw. These are the other villains, so I can put those up there. Then we've got probably allies of some kind. Well, it looks like these are all militia counters. We've got more counters. Looks like these are... I'm not sure what these are, but it'll make more sense when we get into a game. Looks like stat boosts. You probably gain those from encounters. Then we've got probably tokens for our characters. And... not sure what some of these are. Transformations probably into werewolves. A flying frog special token. I'm not sure what this is for. I might end up using this as a first player token, possibly. Presumably our monsters. Looks like some of our special enemies, like the crows and stuff. Wound and... not sure what the blue tokens are. Then we've got more minis. More character minis, which I'll put those there. And this flying frog token is the first player token. That's probably what I was going to use it for anyway. And our dice. More dice. Okay, so the first order of business is to get this whole thing bagged up. First thing I'm going to do is bag the dice. Just to get them... actually, let's bag the minis first, just to kind of get them out of my way. Okay, just confirming that. So we'll get the minis bagged up. Then I'll deal with the dice. I think one of these bags is going to be a little too small, so I'll go to this bag for the dice. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this insert looking at it. I have a feeling, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and rip the insert out now, because I don't think, I think the insert's just going to get in my way of trying to organize this thing. Let's see, what do I want to deal with next? We can throw these militia tokens in another bag. I don't think I need something this big for the militia tokens. Yeah, no, I got these 3x4 bags. Oh yeah, that'll be a perfect fit. Okay. Then the cards are all going to get bagged, well, I'm deciding what I want to do with the cards as I'm looking at them. I think I am actually going to bag them separately, just so I can keep everything straight there. And these 3x4 bags that I've got will do that job very nicely. Actually, I think they will. Yeah, they'll work. Well, it'll work for the smaller stacks. I'm not sure what I'll do with the bigger stacks, like the mystery and the event cards. But yeah, we can definitely get these smaller stacks in these size bags. Some of our reference cards can almost certainly go together. Once I get the... Come on. This is a temporary... Admittedly, this is probably a temporary storage solution until I decide if I like the game or not enough to want to sleeve it. Once I sleeve it, I'm going to have to change it again, but I needed to do something, because seeing that bulging mess made me go, no, this is not going to stay like this. We should be able to get the windmill in another bag. Maybe opening that just a touch. Took a little bit of force, but I think I think the windmill will go in there, so that's all done. Town items should be able to fit in here. I know it's probably not the most fun watching me cuss and swear with organizing some of these games, but this one, like I said, this one was just too egregious for me not to deal with it. I promise we'll have... I do have a couple more unboxings that I'm going to get knocked out this morning, but I promise we'll have more interesting... I promise we'll have gameplay coming up on the channel, and I know that's actually fun. But sometimes these unboxings are just a necessary evil. Let's see, the lair cards don't seem like they want to go either. Be aware that there will be a bunch of extra tokens that can be used for various things and also for house rules. I might have passed over some of those tokens when I was going through the unboxing, but I will try to pay attention for that. So thanks for the heads up. If I had to guess, it might be some of these blue tokens that, just at a glance, that I might be able to use for house rules. But once we get into the rule book, we'll take a look at, we'll see what the rule book has to say about that. I just need to get these cards organized because I do also want to take a look at the board, then go through the rule book, and then when that's all said and done, then we'll finally take a look at the blurb on the back. The blue tokens are investigation tokens, which are basically money. Well, that was a guess on my part without having gotten into the rule book. So I'm sure it'll explain which tokens are the ones that I can actually use as house rules, as house rule stuff. We'll get 2 more bags. We'll get 2 more of these size bags out because I'm almost certain the mystery and the event cards will not fit in baggies of this size. Fortunately for me, where I work, I can get a hold of bags in several sizes for very cheap and in huge quantities. Like these 2x3 bags that I really like using. Where I work, I can get 1,000 of them for a couple bucks. So it's actually makes my life as a control freak board gamer very easy. And the abandoned keep. And now I'll start needing bigger bags for the mystery and event cards. There we go. Okay. Now the bigger bags for the mystery and event cards. We'll bag the events up first. And the mystery. We'll do this. It's not going to stay like this because that's a great perk from work, getting baggies for that cost. Well, it's actually kind of merchandise that I can order from work, but yes, I do take rather liberal advantage of it. And look at that. I'm not completely done with this yet. But I feel better already with organizing that whole thing. The box came in a little bit of rough shape, but I can probably deal with it as long as everything seems to be there and mostly intact. So let me get this out of the way, then we'll take a look at the board and finally get into the rule book. So here's our game board. My main complaint so far, and I'm not sure it's a complaint yet, but everything seems to be very glossy. And yeah, as we lay the board out here, I'll zoom in on it. You got your spaces. Definitely has that colonial style in it. I know this is supposed to be a colonial horror game. So looks like everything is nicely laid out here. But yeah, well, it's actually not as glossy as I thought it would be. There's not too much glare really kicking off from any of the lights, so it's probably fine. Not, like I said, not as glossy as I thought it would be. There is a connection down here that'll go for expansion spaces. Might be a little bit hard to see down here, but we'll have to get this to the channel before I see if I'm warm to picking up expansions for this. Especially the pricing I'm seeing, at least on Noble Knight, I'm very hesitant on that. But I'm rambling at this point, so let's bring the rule book in and we'll finally take our cursory look at the rule book. Doesn't seem to be too bad. This is also my first Flying Frog rule book, so we'll see what I think of it. All right, we've got everything explaining, wound investigation. Okay, that is the first player token. Yep. Shadow track marker. I didn't... oh, there it is. I was going to say, it's probably somewhere in the mess. I just didn't see it. Okay, minions, town elder markers, assorted counters. I don't think the soundtrack doesn't seem like it's included. It didn't seem like it came with this copy of the game. I may, if I like this enough, I may hunt that down at some point. Heroes and Villains, Game Board Investigation, and the Shadow Track. Alright, skills, items, basic game setting up. I'm not sure I like that layout of the rulebook. We're setting up is way deep into the rulebook. But at least everything seems to be fairly well laid out. Fight enemies in your space, the actions you can take. Mystery phase, town elders, event cards and timing, and canceling cards. Fights, knocked out heroes. Okay, minions. Running random location, running out of cards in a deck. Shortest path to the town hall, removing cards from the game showdowns. How you win the game. Cooperative play. The advanced game. Team game optional rules. Hero profiles. Facts and clarifications. Credits. And a quick results and looks like a quick reference page on the back. Okay, cool. So I'll have to go, looks like I'll probably have to go digging at least for a quick reference on BGG. But we can bring this back in. We're actually going to pull everything back out so I can organize this properly. So I'll get the rule book in the board. I need the darkness track as well. Okay, so it looks like that's probably the side for the competitive game, and then that's for the cooperative game. Okay, that makes sense. I'll put that in. Top of the box back in. Much better. It's not so bulgy, but I do need to make sure it's aligned properly. There we are. And we'll zoom out, take a quick look at the back of the box. So we will finally take a look at the back of that, and I see a wall of text here. I'm not going to read through all of that, but what I'm interested in though is the player count 2 to 8, ages 12 plus because of course, and the game time 60 to 120. We'll see how well that holds. I expect that play time to be slightly elevated, of course, when I put this out for the first time. But that is everything in the box with a touch of evil. The Supernatural game by Flying Frog Productions. Stay close to the channel because there's going to be a lot coming on the channel today. I have a couple more product unboxings I want to get to yet this morning. Then a game. I haven't decided what the game is going to be yet, though. Probably something on BGA, but we'll see about that. Anywho, I'm rambling at this point, so I might as well wrap the video up. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.